and you're ready to start dating.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Ladies, these are signs. I mean, we've had so many women that are like, should I be dating for marriage? Am I ready to date? Am I healed enough? Ladies, these are the signs that your reality is actually shifting and you're ready to receive your husband and he's on his way.
Yes.
So, for those of you that are new here, that was my situation. I was a former single mama with four little kids. And right before my husband came into the picture, these four things definitely happened. They definitely shifted in my reality. And I've noticed with the women that we've coached over the last year, even before that, that are now married to
Yes.
provider energy husbands, they all went through these same
Yes.
shifts. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm Coach B, former lifelong bachelor. Today, I'm going to share with you from a man's perspective how you know you're ready to start dating for marriage and that he's on his way.
Okay, this is so good. Ladies, we've helped over 1,000 women to date.
Mm.
I really specialize personally in the area of helping women re regulate their hormones, their nervous system, and their feminine energy. And that is what you need to attract that provider energy, masculine husband that
Yes.
wants to spoil you, date you, marry you, so you can have that amazing soft girl
Yes.
life, even if you are a single mom or you've never been married, maybe
Mm.
even if you're over 40 now. Girl, we got you. We got
Yes.
receipts. We've helped so many women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so definitely get your questions ready, get those notepads ready. We're going to go deep into it today. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay, so let's jump into it. So, the first sign that you are ready to date for marriage and your husband is on the way, and we're not talking about any man, we're talking about a man that's in his provider, masculine
Mm.
energy, okay? That type of man. So, the first sign is you have feminine confidence. Now, feminine confidence is very different than masculine energy
So true.
confidence. And so, feminine confidence, this is how you can ask yourself, okay? You can assess yourself right now. If you take away your job title, your degrees, your status, everything that you do, that's your confidence. How do you feel about yourself? So, how you look, how you feel, it's you just being. That's what the masculine is attracted to, not all your degrees and all the things that you do for everybody.
Yes. And if you're just confident, being relaxed, not
Yeah.
feeling like you need to do something or prove yourself,
Hmm.
just in your receiving when people are doing stuff for you,
Yeah.
because you see these signs before he comes. It's
Yes.
not when he comes, now you're able to receive. No, you're already in your feminine, you're
Hmm.
confident. You don't feel like you need, well, we'll go into that later,
Yeah.
but you don't feel like you need much. You're okay within yourself,
Yes.
with the way your life is going,
Hmm.
with things that you have planned, with the people that
Yes.
are around you. You're just so relaxed, so ready to just be in your feminine. And it's not something that's far out, it's
Yeah.
something that you're embodying now. And the signs are so easy for
Hmm.
men to see when they're seeking their wives.
So yeah, just ask yourself, how do you feel about your body? A lot of times women are like, I want to lose some weight first. I've gained a bunch of
Mm.
weight. Yeah, babe, take a break,
Mhm.
work on your body, because what will happen is your confidence will go up
Yes.
so much in you, in yourself. You will feel better. You'll have the energy to date because dating does take energy,
Mm.
especially if you're a single mom or you're running businesses, right? But also, your pool is going to
Yes.
open up on the options that
Yes.
you have from men that
Yes.
you get to choose from, ladies, when you are in shape as a woman. So you want to, and it's not about looking like a Barbie doll. It's not about you looking perfect. It's literally just about you feeling really good in your hormones and your nervous system. You're not triggered and anxious and stressed all the
Yes.
time. You genuinely love your life. Like you are a fun person to be around.
Yes. And
Yeah.
when you're in that energy, what you find out, not only do you attract certain type of guys, but it's pulling them in. So
Yeah.
if you're in your just relaxed, confident,
Hmm.
energy, then the guys that are really focused and disciplined are
Yeah.
going to want to come your way. But if
Yes.
you're in your chaotic, so much is going on, I'm so
Yeah.
busy,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. You're going to attract those same type of guys
Yeah.
who necessarily aren't ready. They want to do it. They want to get married. They want to, have a wife and they want to be in this relationship,
Hmm.
but just like you, they can't find time, they can't find the energy. So it's so important. It's so important before you go out and, okay, I'm going to get this makeover, get this outfit.
Yes.
I got this nice outfit. I know this will attract him. No, getting in your relaxed, feminine energy is what's going to attract him, because we always see that, okay, even though she looks like that, it's so easy now. And I talk to men that are looking for wives, I talk to
Yeah.
men that are married. They have no issue with helping you get to where you want to go, as far as helping to upgrade your looks if it's something
Yes.
that you want. But you have to already have that confidence within yourself
Yeah.
and that relaxed energy, because
Yes.
that's what's going to attract him, not that outfit that you just bought.
Oh my gosh. And we coach so many boss babe types of women. Like they're just our people. Okay.
Hmm.
So a lot of times they're like, what do you mean? I am confident. I'm so confident, right? Because you're successful. You're confident in your success.
Mm,
You're confident in the business. We have a lot of women that are in finance, in investing,
yes.
in real estate, all my ladies, lots of doctors that are in our FEA, our Feminine Energy Academy, and they're super
Yes.
confident in what they do.
Yes.
But what we have to shift you into is you're super confident in who you are
Mm,
and how you look and how you feel. And people can feel that in
yes.
your energy. They love being in your presence. And when you're in that feminine confidence, you don't just attract men.
Mm,
Women are attracted to you.
mm,
Not in a sexual way, but everyone just wants to be
yes.
in your presence. You are just so fun and relaxing to be around.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And just even us going out and things like that, so many times I see
Yeah.
women come up and say something to you,
Yeah.
compliment you. I see kids
Yes.
just staring and looking like, literally little girls looking and, mouth open. But it's your energy. It's not just
Energy.
your looks.
Yeah.
Your looks get you in the door. Your looks are great, but kids sense energy. Kids
Yes.
understand.
Animals.
Yes, they understand this person is easy to be around. They
Yeah.
don't care how good you look. That's not even the way they see things.
Yeah.
They're seeing like, okay, this person feels safe. This
Yeah.
person feels like someone who I can enjoy myself being around. So
Yeah.
I see it all the time being out with her and the kids and the ladies
Yeah.
as well. So
Yes.
it's definitely something that you will see, others will see, and people will approach you, not to just come at you, but to compliment you, or just to
Yes.
say, I just wanted to say hi to you.
Yes.
I felt something when I saw you, so I just wanted to speak to you.
Yes, it's so funny because we have so many women, once again, boss babes, right? Or in masculine energy
Mm,
roles. And once they come and they start working with us, and then they learn how to just be more in their
yes,
feminine confidence, they're blown away at how many people come up to
yes,
them. Like everywhere they go, the people are just coming up to them, people that they're not used to
yes,
it. And it happens almost instantly
yeah,
once they come into the Feminine Energy Academy because it's just an energy shift. But there's just things, just ask yourself, what are some things that I can do that will make me feel better about
mm,
myself. Okay. A lot of times it has to do with your body, hormones, just letting go of stuff that are just dragging you down. And of course, if you need help in the Feminine Energy Academy, I have multiple
yes,
hormone and weight loss programs, even if you're perimenopause, menopause, because that's just something that I have seen directly affects a woman's dating life and her
mm,
marriage. So just we really, really want you to have that
yes,
feminine energy, magnetism everywhere you go.
yeah. So
Okay.
let's jump into point number
Yes.
two.
Okay. So, point number two, sign that your husband is on his way and you are ready to put yourself out there and actually date for the purpose of marriage is you don't get really attached to people, to men easily. So,
Mm,
you're able to stay detached. Now, I'm not saying you have the wall up and you're avoidant. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're able to talk to different guys, like how
mm,
we teach, and the first guy that's giving you attention and tells you he wants to marry you,
mm,
you're not just like, stopping talking to other guys
yeah.
and you're just in love with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself, getting super emotionally attached, obsessively thinking about him. You feel rejected
Mm,
or abandoned if a guy ghosts you or, he was talking to you and then he literally just fell off a cliff.
mm,
We don't know what happened to him, but now you feel horrible about yourself. Women that are healed and their husbands are on their way are detached.
mm,
They're enjoying dating. They're not hung up on one guy. Their energy is it's him or it's someone better.
mm.
But I'm not obsessing about one man until there's a ring on my finger.
Yes. And such a good sign to know
Yeah.
that you're ready to start dating for marriage and your husband's on his way is, not only are you detached in that way, but you have your love list. You're able to
Yes.
follow you have
So
boundaries
good.
in place, And you're okay if your boundaries don't line up with his.
Yeah.
You're not worried like, okay, well, he wants to have sex with us. He wants to have sex with me. I'm not ready to go that direction. What do I do?
Yeah.
No, you have your boundaries in place. You have your love list. So for him, it's like, well, maybe he's not the one right now.
Yes.
And you're able to move on easily. You're not concerning yourself with, oh, well, he's a provider. He takes care of his mom. He takes care of his
Yeah.
family. He's
Mhm.
so good. He checks 5 out of the 6 boxes I have,
Yeah.
but he's not checking the box because this is a non-negotiable for you.
Yeah.
You're so okay with moving on if someone's trying to break your boundaries or
Yes.
don't meet your negotiables and
Yes.
non-negotiables. You're
Yes.
detached in that way,
Yeah.
but you're looking. I mean,
Yeah.
you're positioning yourself for your husband. You're ready to start dating, but you have a logical mindset when it comes down
Yes.
to what type of guy. You're not emotionally dating.
Yes.
Emotionally, like, okay, this guy, he looks like my ex who I almost married. We were engaged for 3 months. He has so many
Yeah.
characteristics of, my father or whatever the case is. No, he doesn't meet your love list. You're okay with that. You move on no matter what you feel about him, what he's done up to this point, and you stick to your boundaries. That's how you know you're ready to start dating for marriage and your husband's on his way.
That is so good. So just ask yourself, do you tend to get triggered
Mhm.
easily? Do you tend to feel anxious? A huge pattern that we see a lot of women do is the guy comes towards you, he's chasing you, he's
Mm.
pursuing
Yes.
you, he's showing up consistently, and then you sleep with him,
Oh,
right? And then you sleep with him, and then now you're attached to the guy, and he
yes.
starts to pull away, or he's not stepping up for marriage, right?
Mm.
And then you end up in a situationship, which that blocks your husband energetically. You're in a different frequency. You're in
Yes.
the frequency of situationship. You're not in the frequency of a wife,
Yes.
right? And so you need to be in that wifey energy. And so when you're in that wife energy, you can hold your boundaries. You can be like, you know what? I'm saving myself for my
Yes.
husband, even if you haven't done it before. You're saving yourself for your husband, and you're not getting attached to the first guy that is just saying all the right things to
So true. And another sign I wanted to add
Yeah.
with another point I wanted to add to know that you're ready to start dating for
Yeah.
marriage and your husband's on his way is you're open to correction. You're open
Oh,
to
so good.
people around you being able to lead you and guide you
Yes.
and to show you, okay, this didn't work. So you have mentors, you have coaches, you have people that are able to speak into your life in
Yes.
that area. Because what happens so often, we're 30, we're 40,
Yes.
we're 50, we've been in
60s.
relation, yeah, 60s. We've been in relationships, we've been married, we've been engaged. So we feel like, okay, I'm old enough, or I
Yeah.
understand, I've had a successful business, I've had success in other areas. So
Yeah.
I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. I just need someone, who can kind of show me what they did and I'll kind of figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
We try to do things on our own. And when we're in that place, we're not necessarily ready because one thing when you get married and when you get a husband who's coming in to provide and protect for you, now you're in a position of receiving. You're in a position of taking a step back because even
Yeah.
in our situation, you were doing everything as a single
Yeah.
mom. When I came into the picture, now you stepped back in certain areas. You are open to, okay, this is the way I discipline my kids, but
Yeah.
I'm open to a new way of doing it
Yes.
because what I've
Yes.
done up to this point hasn't necessarily given me the results I want. So when you're open to correction, not just from a man, but open for corrections from people, you're open to hear things a different way. You're in the energy of
Mhm.
being a wife
That's
and
so true.
positioning yourself to for your husband to find you.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you have to actually shift because your old identity, your old personality got you your old reality,
Yeah.
right? So you need someone to really just help point out the blind spots
Yes.
in a place of love to help you because a lot of times it's just a little tweak here, a little tweak there. In my
Yes.
experience, coaching the ladies, and then they're engaged and then
Yes.
they're married. Right. And so that brings me to my next point. That's perfect, honey.
Yes.
Is you have skilled up.
Mm.
You have skilled up because it is a skill set. Dating for marriage is a skill
Yes.
set, especially dating for marriage in this day and age
Mm.
with the internet, with dating apps, with online dating. Everyone has
Yes.
access to the entire globe. People have access to you now, and you have access to other people.
Yes.
And that requires a skill set. And so if you're just listening to your single friends, like no shade to them, but your single friends, guy friends, girlfriends, and even married couples
Yeah.
that have been married for 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have some good marriage wisdom, they probably do. But when it comes to dating, it's different
Yes.
than how things were back then.
Yes.
And I know that because I was married before,
Mm.
and it was before social media and dating apps. And so when I re-entered the dating scene as a single mom
Yes.
in my late 30s, okay, with 4 kids, and now we got social media, now we got dating apps, that was so overwhelming
Mm.
for me. And this was an area I skilled up
Yes.
in. And thankfully, I did that because I put myself out there. I did all the things that I now teach my ladies to do. And I attracted my husband,
Yeah.
right? And so, but attracting them is one thing. Another skill set that we teach our women a lot is how to communicate,
Mm.
how to communicate in your soft girl energy. So you're not talking to the masculine the same way you're
Yes.
talking to your girlfriends.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
so important to skill up
Yeah.
because what happens, and we have examples of you
Yeah.
and even Dr. Bridget who
Yeah.
had to skill up. Of course, she's my sister. She's been
Yeah.
in the community.
Yeah.
She's been on here with us as
Yeah.
well.
In
What
her
happened?
50s.
Yeah, she's in her 50s
Yeah.
now. But what happened is she was married for close to 20 years,
Yeah.
ended up getting a divorce and figured out that dating was different.
Yeah. It's so
Dating was
different.
different now. Before you were 20 something, you were nice and fine and super thin. And now you come back out there with the
Yeah.
same thought because we
Yeah.
don't always see ourselves the way others see us.
Yeah.
So you're coming out there with the same thoughts, everybody wants me. And then you figure out like, no, they're looking at me like an auntie, you know? And once you,
Those were her words. Those were
yes,
her words.
once you get
Yeah.
that awareness, now it's
Yeah.
like, I have to
Yeah.
skill up because what it's like is you've been locked up for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying your marriage
Yes.
locked you up, but think about people that have gone to jail
Yes.
for 10 or 15 years
That's so
and now
true.
they come out. It's a different world
So
out here.
true.
They still, they still got those fishnets on and, the high shoes and,
Yeah.
the collared shirts. They were locked up in the
Yes.
70s and the 80s. And now they come out and it's like, it's a different world. So you have to
Yes.
prepare yourself for this
Mhm.
new world or else it'll eat you up. You'll go out there thinking, okay, I still got it. Only thing I have to do is smile or wink, or sit in this chair and they'll come over to me and they're not even looking at you. So it's understanding what's
Yes.
going on in the world today.
Yeah.
And it's great that you've separated yourself and it feels
Yes.
like you've been locked up and everything's new
Yeah.
because that shows how committed you
Yeah.
were to potentially your marriage or whatever
Yes.
you were doing.
Mhm.
But you can't move forward in the old way expecting the
Yeah.
new results. It's
Yeah.
different out here. Social media is different,
Yeah.
just the way people talk to each other. Because I remember even a couple years ago when some of the players were like calling like parents and adults bro, and I was like, bro, that's so disrespectful,
Yeah.
right? But thinking about us, we had our language when we were younger.
Yeah.
Kids have their language now,
Yeah.
so it's adjusting and understanding. Even though don't call me bro, still they're not
Yeah.
seeing it as disrespectful. This is their language. So
Yeah.
understanding the language, understanding how
Yeah.
people move, understanding just how people
Yeah.
are because 20 years ago is a long time if you haven't been in the dating game.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole concept of ghosting. I
Yes.
remember when I entered the dating scene, people are explaining to me what ghosting was.
Yes.
I was like, ghosting? Who would like that makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I was a married woman for so long,
Mm.
right? So these concepts were so foreign.
Yes.
And like just knowing how to talk to more than one person at a time,
Mm.
when you're used to being with one person, it's like go against everything you've been
Yes.
taught. But the thing is, how we teach our women is this is what you need to do to stay detached.
Mm.
Because a lot of women, especially the women that we attract, they're the nice girls, right? So you'll get attached to a guy really easily. You have a smooth talker,
Mm.
guy telling you all the right things, and next thing you know, you're hooked on
Mm.
him. And then because you haven't done a lot of your inner
Yeah.
healing, then you're just left with more baggage. And then
Mm.
you're like, dating's not for me. And then you
Yeah.
stay single and you're in your 50s and
Yes.
60s, and then you're just like, this sucks.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So we're going to prevent that
Yes.
from happening. But you definitely want to skill up in the area of knowing how to date
Mm.
specifically, and then also how to communicate with the
Yes.
masculine in dating and in marriage.
Yes.
Okay. And so, of course, we have a masterclass tomorrow
Mm.
where we're going to be teaching you ladies how to walk and talk in your soft girl energy and how to communicate to influence the masculine. This is a skill set masterclass. Okay. And this is for my ladies that are dating, married, or you want to be married.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
So go
we'll get
ahead,
to the
babe.
next point, but even adding to that,
Yeah.
how to communicate is so important for you ladies who really want to move forward in marriage and want to
Yeah.
position yourself to understand that the communication isn't what do I say?
Yeah.
Because we hear so much
Oh,
with the
so
ladies
good.
that jump on here,
Yeah.
with the ladies that ask questions. Oh, like, okay, what do I say to them then? It's more than that. It's about embodying the feminine energy. It's about
Yeah.
embodying who you are and just understanding what the man needs.
Yeah.
When you understand what the man needs and desires, it's not specific words that you say. It's
Yeah.
how you say it. It's what, when you say it. So we go through all that
Yeah.
and we're going to talk about all that through the master class, but it's not just like, okay, give me what
Yeah.
to say, I'll say that,
Yeah.
and I'll be able to attract the type of guy I want. That
Mm-mm.
doesn't work.
And even like how to flirt in a classy way, all of that stuff, all my potent dating secrets, ladies, that I'm not sharing on YouTube. That's only for the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. If you're watching the replay, you can also catch the replay in the Feminine Energy Academy. We will leave the link below for you
Yes.
as well. Okay.
Yes.
So, point number 4.
Yes, you got it.
Okay, so this is huge, equally as important. This is a sign that your husband is truly on his way and you're truly ready to date for marriage.
Mm,
And that is you have healed your relationship with the true divine masculine energy God. What I have noticed in my personal experience and coaching so many women, that can become a huge love block until you heal that. So, how you view the masculine God, your relationship with God, actually gets mirrored into the physical.
yes.
So, if there's a lot of hurt, pain, anger, I don't trust God, I don't trust you,
Yeah.
God, I don't trust you to be my provider, my protector, that's going to translate in how you treat men.
Yes.
These typically, what in my experience, coaching so many different women, by the way, from all different faith backgrounds,
Yes.
Christians, Jewish, Muslim women, when that area is wounded, what happens is they have a hard time surrendering to the
Yes.
masculine. They don't feel safe. Actually trusting the
Yeah.
masculine to show up for them, to provide, to protect them. And that also, comes down to man wounds too, right? Your
Hmm.
relationship with your dad. So that is one thing that I have noticed
Yes.
over and over and over again when women heal that relationship with God, where they can truly surrender. They can, God, they open themselves up for God to provide for them, protect them, give them that wisdom that they need, wash away the shame that they maybe have been carrying around, that unforgiveness. That's what purifies your energy as a woman. That's what cleanses your energy as a woman. And that's also what opens you up to be that bride. I mean,
Yes.
this is why Christ calls us his bride. This is how God has designed us to be in that energy that you are a bride before your husband comes into the picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what we see as well
Yeah.
is sometimes you'll have ladies who are
Yeah.
looking to attract their husband,
Yeah.
but it's been a lot of, and this is all type of
Yeah.
religions. It's been a lot of church hurt,
Lots of
and
church
now
hurt.
it's hard
Yeah.
to trust the masculine.
Yeah.
It's hard to trust anyone. So instead of saying
Yeah.
that this is
Mhm.
this is what I believe, it's like you get to a point where you don't believe anything and you're not
Yeah.
able to trust anything. And if
Yes.
you're in that place, then you won't be able to attract a
Yeah.
healthy masculine energy man, because a healthy masculine energy man is someone who's pretty disciplined,
Yeah.
someone who's structured, someone who's not all over the place,
Yeah.
someone who makes up his mind and he's going to move forward in
Yeah.
that direction, someone who has a conviction.
Yeah.
So if you're at a place where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust, God,
Yeah.
because this happened, because things
Yeah.
happen, something happened in your family,
Yeah.
something happened to someone close to
Yes.
you, and now you're like, okay, I don't trust God because he let this happen. So
Yes.
until you
Yeah.
heal that wound, you're not going to be able to trust your husband. You're not going to be able
Yeah.
to trust any type of structure or
Yeah.
systems around you.
Yeah.
You're going to be on jobs and people are going to tell you what to do and you can't take it. So you're going to leave the job because,
Yeah. Triggered.
yes, you're so triggered by any type of masculine structure that comes. You just want to be free. You just want to do what you do. If that's you, then you still have an opportunity to be able to attract. But
Yeah.
you want to identify that and
Yeah.
say, is this me? And if it
Yeah.
is, what type of results have I gotten up to this point?
Mm.
Because the results speak. No
Yeah.
matter how we feel, results don't lie. They say
Yeah.
men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So whatever
Yeah.
results you're getting,
Mhm.
if it's not the results that you desire, then you have to make that shift.
Yeah.
You have to look, and we talk about it in the Feminine Energy Academy. I know we have so many audios
Yeah.
and videos about healing these inner child
Yes.
wounds.
Yes.
And if you can go into
Yeah.
that, but that's where it starts for you,
Yes.
so you can be able to attract that healthy masculine energy guy.
Yeah, I mean, that is the starting place when with all the women that I've coached that are now married,
Yes.
that always had to be the starting place because otherwise you carry around shame. Shame from your past, shame from the past divorce, the past situationship, or maybe you're in a situationship right now. The guy is just dragging his feet.
Yes.
And also, this is the biggest thing for a woman. You can't soften your energy as a woman until you learn how to surrender and trust.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to surrender and trust, you're going to walk around hard. Your energy is hard, right? The wall is up. You're in fight mode. You are in fight battle mode. You're in protector mode. You're right. You're a single mom. You got to take care of business. You're
Mm.
working all these jobs, running businesses, maybe, right? Everything falls on your shoulders,
Yes.
but that's not how God's designed it, right? And then also, if you've been through a loss, right, where you have that fear of abandonment, fear, that nervous at a
Yeah.
nervous system level, you're scared. Like, let's just be honest, you're scared. And I'm saying this because this was me,
Mm.
right? I had lost my first husband, he passed away. And so I was scared, but
Mm.
I had to learn to trust God that I was in a different reality, that we deserved to have a different type of life, that the most amazing man was going to come into our life for me and the kids. And once I was able to heal that and release that out of
Mm.
my
Yes.
energy and calm my nervous system and just surrender and trust God, my husband came into the picture.
Yes. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Khadijah in the Feminine Energy Academy, she said,
Yeah.
shame was the thing that held me back the
Yeah.
most from putting myself out there. She says, I'm
Yes.
healed now.
Praise God.
Yes.
Praise God. And she's also said, I love the Academy, of
Yes.
course. And we love you too, Kadisha.
Yes.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest thing that I've seen with women is
Mm.
they gotta go. So I actually have an inner child healing audio that I take you through, and I also have a de-shaming
Yeah.
audio. So shame, ladies, from a neuroscience point of view, shame is the number one thing that will dysregulate your nervous system,
Mm.
meaning that it will keep your nervous system stuck in that survival mode and will keep your energy in the masculine mode, protective mode. So the masculine can't even feel your energy because you have shame there. And it could be shame from so many different
Mhm.
things. It could be about your body,
Yeah.
weight. It could be from daddy issues. It could have been from finances. A lot of times for women, it's finances. Just just past relationship drama typically is what it's from.
Yeah.
And you got to heal that out of your energy
Mm.
so that the masculine can feel you, because communication is what 90% energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're going to get to a couple of these questions. And we have questions on detaching,
Yeah.
rotationally dating. So we'll get to as many as we can. We have
Yeah.
one that says, how do I explain staying detached when rotationally dating to my teenage son? How does she explain being detached when rotationally dating to my teenage son? So
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering, are
Yeah.
you asking like he's dating and you want him to stay detached, or
I think
you
she's
staying
saying
detached?
she's like telling her son that she's going to start dating, rotationally dating.
Well, maybe you can answer that because you had those
Yeah.
conversations with your
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I never actually told my kids about rotational dating.
Yeah.
What I told my kids is I went to the scriptures and I was like talking about how God wants mom to be married,
Mm.
how it's God's plan for us to be married.
Yes.
That's God's heart for us, right? And so, and I was talking to my kids about what it means to how you actually date and how you save yourself for marriage. And so I wasn't really getting into like but my kids were a little bit younger than your son's a
Yeah.
teenager. So my kids were a bit younger. But what I told my kids was, okay, and you can do this with your teenage son as well. This is what we're going to call in,
Yeah.
right? Because it's going to affect him too, right? So when you guys do this together, it's actually more beneficial for your kids and for you, where you guys come together and you're like, okay, we are going to come together in prayer and we're going to call in this type of man. We're going to stay detached, meaning that we are going to allow God to decide who's the best fit for our
Yes.
family. That's what it means to be detached. God is going to decide. We're going to surrender to God who and the when. So you're not obsessed about, oh, it needs to be this guy
Yeah.
specifically, or it needs to be by this date, because that's what's going to cause a lot of resistance
Mm.
and stress for you and for maybe your kids, right? So a fun way to do this, okay, this is what we're calling in, and we want him to be like this, and this. And then we're going to stay detached to the outcome, pray about it, pray with him about it if he's open to that. And then explain to him, okay, so mom needs to put herself on dates, right? I need to go on actual dates. My husband needs to find me. So that means I'm going to show up on the dating apps, and that means I'm going to be going on different dates.
Hmm.
Doesn't mean I'm going to be sleeping with the guys, right? If you're able to have that type of conversation, but you're going to be meeting different guys until the right one shows up and matches this list that we have collectively agreed to. So that's how I would be explaining that to my teenage son.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
don't want to go too deep into it because
Yeah.
even as a young man,
Yeah.
the idea of you rotationally dating, all
Yeah.
of that probably doesn't feel right to him
Yeah.
because just you
Yeah.
knowing that guys are dating you, he knows that guys
Yeah.
like you, but
Yeah.
going too deep into it will probably make him feel uncomfortable.
Yes,
But like
they don't want to know too much.
no. So like you said, just letting them know, that you're looking to get married, that God wants this for you, and
Yeah.
whatever scripture or whatever words you have that
Yeah.
support that, but
Yeah.
just letting him know that you're doing this for him
Yeah.
and you're not out here, just messing around, wasting time, just
Yeah.
talking to guys. No, you're doing this intentionally.
Yeah.
So within this time frame, whatever your time frame is, within this time frame, you're looking to attract the type of guy that can be a great stepfather and a husband for you. So going into
Yeah.
detail about, okay, we went on this date today,
Yeah.
because every mother has a different relationship with their
That's
kids.
true. Yeah.
You don't want to come back reporting what happened on the
Yeah.
date.
Don't tell them too
No,
much,
where
even
did
if
you
they want to.
want? Right.
Yeah.
Because they'll ask,
Oh
where
yeah.
did you go? What time you getting back? What
Yeah.
time, all of that. Make sure you share with the people that need to know when you're going out on these dates. Maybe,
Yeah.
siblings, maybe close friends, just so you have someone as your accountability partner.
Yeah.
But don't put your son in that
Yeah.
way. Get people from the outside. Keep him posted with stuff that he needs to know.
Yeah.
Like if you're moving forward
Yeah.
with someone, or if you feel like this person potentially can be your husband. Other than that, he doesn't really need to know date to date what's going on.
So good. And also, this is what I always tell my ladies is your kids, whether they're teenagers or young kids,
Hmm.
they respond to your nervous system,
Yes.
right? So if you are anxious, stressed, overwhelmed
Yes.
about dating and relationships, you're passing that on to your
Mm,
kids. You don't even have to say anything. They can feel your energy. It's getting programmed into their nervous system that dating is stressful, relationships are
yes.
stressful, marriage is stressful, all this is stressful. Or you can give them a new story and you can show them dating is fun.
Yeah.
Having healthy boundaries is a good thing. That mom is worthy to save herself for a husband that chooses her. And what's the role of the man? The man's role is to be the provider, protector. And when he comes in, he's going to be the head of the home, but only when he has publicly claimed me as his wife
Mm,
and you as, the stepkids, right? They don't just come in and like start ruling,
yeah.
right? They have to earn that place. They have to earn that vulnerability. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to teach your kids what it means to date for marriage, but keep it age appropriate. Yeah.
So true. And we have this question from a lady in the Feminine Energy Academy.
Yeah.
She's asked it, but we'll answer it here. Hey, Coach B and Natasha. I
Hey.
don't know if you've answered this already, but when you detached from Coach B, did you both already express
Oh.
love towards one another,
Oh.
or was that expressed after Coach B returned? And I know
Yeah.
as well what you said. Did we like say I love you to each other? Was that our language? So
Yeah.
you can answer it first, and I'll
Yeah.
add to it.
Well, so first of all, ladies, I encourage you never to say that to a man.
Hmm.
Okay, even if you're feeling those feelings, especially right away.
Hmm.
Maybe once you guys are engaged or about to get engaged, you can use that language, but don't express to a man that you're in love with him
Hmm.
right, until he has
Yes.
earned that place.
Yes.
So for us, no, we did not express to each other that we loved each other. You can speak for yourself,
Yeah.
but I think we both were very much like, I can see myself marrying
Hmm.
you or marrying someone that is exactly like you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it was for
Yeah.
me.
So we
It
didn't
was
say that.
really understanding that this is
Yeah.
a type of woman that I could
Yeah.
marry. But until we decided to go exclusive,
Yeah.
until, it might have been before. I'm not exactly sure what it was when I
I
shared it.
remember.
Okay.
Of
But
course.
it was when we made that decision. And
Yeah.
you want to make sure as a woman, you're not the first one saying it. You don't
Yes.
want to tell him I love you. And now he's in an awkward position
Yep.
where he's like, okay, I guess I have to say it back.
Yeah.
Or because that's your energy coming towards him,
Yep.
you initiating the I love you conversation, because everything changes once you start talking that way.
Yep.
I mean, the entire relationship goes from, okay, we're getting to know each other,
Yeah.
to now, now people are thinking like we must be serious,
Yeah.
or he's thinking to himself like, I think she's serious about me.
Yeah.
So allow him to lead in that, but don't rush into it. Even if
Mhm.
you feel that
Yep.
way, until you all have discussions about being together, about your future, about potentially going, not even potentially, but being exclusive, potentially getting married. Other than that, it's no need to rush into that, because a man knows, and a man can't hold back his love towards you if he's really
Mhm.
feeling you, if he really
Yeah.
wants to be with you.
Yep.
So you initiating it won't change his mind in a positive way. Definitely, it might make him think like, okay, I might have to take a couple of steps back because she's moving too fast.
Yes, yes. So, ladies, don't lead with that ever. Okay. So, in our situation, of course, I remember everything because I'm a
Hmm.
woman and we
Yes.
just remember all these
Yes.
details.
I-
So, he had already come to Canada where I was staying. And he had actually moved there, I think, by then.
yes.
I definitely started feeling in love with you,
Yes.
but at that point because of how he was showing up for me and the kids. I did not say anything though, but I remember saying in my mind, "I love you," but I
Right.
never said it out loud. And then I'll never forget. I was sitting in like I came home because we stayed in separate
yes.
places. When he came to Canada, he stayed in an Airbnb, and I remember I was sitting in the garage, and I had just
Mm,
left your place, and I was just sitting there, and then he called me, make sure I was good, and then he was like, I just want to let you know that
mm.
I love you, and I was like,
Ah, yes.
I love you too. Sorry.
The drama, the build up.
And but at that point we were already dating for marriage, so
Hmm.
we were about to get engaged, and like we
Hmm.
had already had those talks, we had the timeline talk, all of that. Okay, so yeah.
Yes. And so another one. This might sound silly, but with the state of the world and the red pink pill content making its
Yeah.
way around, I get scared to date. And a lot of
Yeah.
that I know you talk about often is it's a lot of nervous system
Yes.
re-regulation that needs to happen. Can you go into that? Because a lot of ladies that are on here want to date, want to get married, but they're hesitant. It's something
Yes.
they feel like they
Yes.
can't do because they want to protect themselves, they want to protect their kids, they want to
Hmm.
protect their emotions, but
Yes.
waiting and just having those conversations in your head isn't getting you closer to it.
Yeah.
It's actually getting you further away from attracting your
Yeah.
husband. So it's okay to have those thoughts, but it's about what do you do when you have that
Yes.
thought, and what are you watching?
Yes.
What are you allowing into your spirit? If you're
Yes.
watching red pill content that's
Hmm.
making you scared,
Yep.
then maybe you need to watch something different. You need to listen to something different. So can you go into that?
Oh, this is so, so good.
Yes.
And I understand that, right? Especially going through trauma too,
Yes.
right? Like I had gone through that. And so, okay, so here's the thing. If you're feeling afraid about dating, period, right? The best remedy to help you when you're feeling afraid of something is
Yes.
actually skilling up, meaning that you become more
Mm,
competent. Competent breeds
yes.
confidence, right? Typically, the reason why you're feeling afraid about dating is one, exactly what Coach B said, is you are watching content that's putting fear into
Yeah.
your spirit, and also probably people around you, right? And also maybe what you've been through. So first of all, it's healing that wound, healing that fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, whatever it is that you're
Yes.
afraid of. You got to heal that out of your nervous system first. Okay. First and foremost. And that's what we teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. And then the second thing is you got to skill up. When you have strategy and a plan, you're not going to feel so afraid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, and when, especially when you have people
Yep.
helping you, you're not going to feel so afraid. It's kind of like anything in life.
Yep.
Learning how to drive. How did you learn how to drive? Right? Learning how to drive felt very scary until you learned how to actually, learned about the car,
Yes.
learned about the rules of the road. Then you learned about, how to actually drive. You had someone teach you. And then it didn't feel so scary after practice. Dating is the exact same
Yes.
way. Marriage is the exact same way. But you got to cut off the stuff, all that negativity
Yes.
from all the failed marriages and divorces and dating scams and all that stuff. You got to stop watching that content, and you literally got to brainwash yourself with content and
Yes.
programs that's going to help you stay in alignment with what it is that you're calling in. Because otherwise, babe, you're just going to stay in that reality. You're going to be too afraid to date and you're going to stay single. Or you're going to attract like some random guy that isn't providing and
Mm.
protecting you,
Yes,
right?
and
Yeah.
it's so true when you're scared, when you
Yeah.
have some fear around it.
Yeah.
First, is usually a story that you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
If you're nervous or if you're scared about
Yeah.
something, not even nervous but scared, because I see it so much in basketball. I've coached
Yeah.
basketball for years, and a lot of times what happens is kids that aren't skilled up. Kids that don't have the skill set are
Hmm.
the ones that scared. They catch the ball, they're scared, they don't know what to do with it, they
Yeah.
want to get rid of it. Someone comes up to them, they're running or whatever
Yeah.
the case is. But when you're skilled up, and even in the area of relationship, when
Yeah.
you've done the work
Yeah.
and a guy approaches you, you're relaxed. You
Yeah.
understand that you don't have to commit to this guy. This isn't the guy that you have to marry. They're just approaching you because they may
Yeah.
find you attractive. So you're not
Yeah.
telling yourself an entire story,
Yeah.
because that's what happens. It's not that he's approaching you,
Yeah.
it's what you're thinking when he approaches you. It's what you're thinking when you think about being married, when you think
Yes.
about being in a committed relationship, when you think
Yes.
about potentially
Yes.
getting engaged. Because
Yes.
what happens is, whatever that point that previous relationships where things went left, it could have been in the dating phase, could have been engagement.
Yeah.
That's where that hurt is. That's where
Yes.
that's where you're scared at, because of that point.
Yes.
Okay, because once this happened, then he ghosted me, or once this happened, everything fell apart.
Yeah.
So it's that one moment that you have to deal with
Yeah.
potentially, that continues to come up, that you don't even want to put yourself out there anymore,
Hmm.
because you're thinking, okay, things usually go well the first 2 weeks, then that third week, when it's the third date,
Yeah.
things go bad. So
Yeah.
you want to get that story out of your mind. You want to skill up, get some new
Yes.
information in,
Hmm.
so your nervous system can receive the healthy masculine energy,
Yes.
man. Otherwise, it'll
Yeah.
be in every area, not just in
That's it.
relationships. You'll be scared in every area when
That's
it
it.
comes down to a job. Okay, when the boss wants to talk to you, or
Yeah.
when the employee threatens to leave, now you get scared, and
Hmm.
you just get to a freeze point
Yeah.
where you don't know what to do. So it's always deeper than just what we
Yeah.
think. It's deeper than a relationship. This is how you've lived your life, and
Yes.
this is hindering you from
Yes.
moving forward in multiple areas.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. And ladies, just so you know, I had to work through all these fears too. So let me just list off some of the fears I had to work through so you don't feel alone. And so I know some people are asking, about our story. I was formerly married and my
Mhm.
first husband passed away from colon cancer. So I was widowed at 33 with 4 little kids.
Mm.
And Coach B also, it's crazy, around the same time,
Yeah.
he had a failed engagement. That
Yes.
he was about to get married, had a whole wedding planned with the woman
Mm.
and ended it. So it's just, and then we went into COVID. So it's
Right.
crazy, right? And then a few years later, that's when we met. Now, the fears that I had to overcome, I was afraid of, first of all, who wants to date a mom with
Mhm.
4 kids?
Yeah.
So I had to overcome that limiting belief. I had to overcome that. Am I pretty enough? Am I good
Mhm.
enough? Right? This is stuff that a lot of women go through, right? Another thing was, oh my gosh, okay, what if something happens to him?
Mhm.
Right? That was probably one of the biggest things I had to really overcome and, really heal out of my nervous system for
Mhm.
good so I could actually allow myself to receive my husband. And the other thing was dating apps. Like, who wants to be on a dating app? Nobody, not
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
Right? I had to overcome that.
Yeah.
And so I actually put myself out there on a dating app. Now, I didn't just put myself out there. I
Mm.
had strategy. I did my healing. I did all the 4 things that we talked about today and that we teach our women who are now
Mhm.
engaged and married,
Yes.
right? So you're not alone for feeling afraid about dating and all that stuff, but that is your blessing in disguise,
Mm.
because when you can overcome the fear, your blessing is waiting for you on
Yeah.
the other side. That's the only thing that's stopping you. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Welcome in. Treasure said this is her
Hello.
first time
I
seeing
love
us on the
it.
live.
I
So
love it.
welcome into all the first timers as
Yes,
well.
so many.
Yeah, and let us know where you're checking in
Yeah.
from. I know we have people from all over the
Yeah.
world, South Africa, just everywhere, the Caribbean. So
Yeah.
definitely let us know where you're checking in from.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a question. Hey y'all, question for Coach B. Were you financially stable when you decided to commit to Tosh? And was this something that made you hesitant initially? The guy I'm dating in the US, I'm in Canada, and he says he wants to wait till he's financially secure. and pays off debt. So when a man is looking, and even in my situation, when a man is looking at potentially bringing someone, a woman into his life,
Yeah.
one thing we understand is now we're taking responsibility
Yep.
for her. So being financially, and it's not financially stable, it's being at a place financially where you feel like, okay, where it's an understanding, where both of you feel like, okay, this is a good place, because men tell themselves stories.
Yeah.
Men tell themselves, okay, I need 1 million in the bank before we can get married. I need 1 million in the bank before we can move forward. And men will work and work till they get to that point.
Yeah.
One thing that we did is we had conversations around lifestyle,
Yeah.
conversations around, okay, what it took for us to be together and
Yeah.
even to get married. Because in
Yeah.
my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we got to have a $50,000 wedding. Do
Mhm.
I want to spend 50,000 on a wedding? And then what's next? So having those conversations
Mhm.
really helped us understand
Yeah.
financially where we
Yeah.
were and where we were going, because not only does a woman want to know where you are right now, but where are you taking me?
Yeah.
Where are we going in the future? How are we going to continue to grow? So having that plan in place, because initially that was a thought for me, like
Yeah.
financially, okay, it's 4 kids.
Yeah.
So financially, how does this look?
Mhm.
How does it look to take care of 4 kids? I've been taking care of, and
And
a
me,
wife. Yes.
who has all these needs
Yes. I've been taking
on a
care of
monthly basis.
myself, and taking care of myself monthly about 1,500,
Yeah.
and I can save and put away everything else.
And I drop that at the spa and like on a
Yeah.
very regular basis.
Exactly. So now it goes from,
Yeah.
and because men, it doesn't take much. We can get a 1 bedroom, a studio, and
Yeah.
just pay $800 a month for rent and just do what we need to do. And
Yeah.
this is stories that I see from men that have businesses, men that are making 6, 7
Yeah.
figures a year are
Mhm.
living like this, because we don't need much, but it goes
Yeah.
from 1,500 to, now, like you said, a spa day maybe 1,500. So these are the questions that I had moving forward,
Yeah.
before we decided to move forward, and conversations we had,
Yeah.
and me doing the numbers to make sure it worked in my head, and me seeing, okay,
Yeah.
what am I doing moving forward? Because I
Yeah.
changed, a lot changed
Yeah.
when I moved.
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you can you can
well, I
answer.
was gonna say too, also because women remember everything.
Yes.
So I know, when we first initially talked, he was doing certain types of business,
Yeah.
and then when we stopped talking, he changed his businesses
Yes.
around.
Yes.
And you did say that you did come, you talked to me when you were like killing it in
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
That's so maybe you can talk about that as
Yeah.
a man,
Oh,
like
definitely.
how your confidence
Yes.
changed.
Yeah, so when
Yeah.
we initially were talking and met, I was kind of starting up some stuff that, was kind of taking a little time. So
Yeah.
the money was coming in to take care of me, but, it wasn't to the point where I felt comfortable
Yeah.
enough. So that was a subconscious
Yeah.
self-sabotage. It
Yeah.
wasn't something that I was saying to her. It was something that was in the back of my mind
Yeah.
as we were getting to know each other. So when I came back,
Yeah.
then I came back and, chest held up high, doing
Yeah.
my thing, and that wasn't as much of a concern for me,
Mhm.
because I had momentum going in the business. I was
Yeah.
doing well in the business.
Yeah.
I was at a point where it's like, okay, now is the time. So when I reached out to her,
Yeah.
I reached out with confidence in that area,
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm good here. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Yes. Yeah.
So it wasn't avoidant of a conversation, or it wasn't me just trying to figure out in my head what she wants. Now I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about how this can work. So if a man isn't at a place where he feels comfortable within himself, and whatever that number is for him, every person has a
Yeah.
different number, every situation is different. But if he's not at that place, he can't bring himself fully to you, because
Yeah.
if a man doesn't have a vision, a purpose, isn't in his work where he's doing things that he enjoys, and he's getting paid for it, he can't fully be present, because in the back of his mind, he's going to say, okay, how do I take care of this? How do I take
Yeah.
care of that? And he's not ready to bring you, excuse me, he's not ready to bring you and your potential kids into his life, because he's trying to figure it out on his own. So having a conversation with him about expectations, about, because he may think that he needs more
Yeah.
than what he needs.
Yeah.
So letting him know, like, okay, Even if he doesn't give his numbers, you let him know, okay, I'm looking, I just need a house in this type of neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is the type of lifestyle I want, and let
Yeah.
him do the math. But
Yeah.
men, that can hinder men in so many ways, and it hindered me initially.
Yeah, it's so good to have that conversation. But also there's other things,
I'm sorry.
ladies. This is why it's so important you stay detached. And I don't know if you want to answer this online or not, but are you guys sleeping together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you can just answer that for yourself if you want, or you can answer it here. But if you all are sleeping together
Mm-hmm.
and he hasn't committed to marriage for you, then often what happens is then he's already conquered you. And so we talk about this a lot in the Feminine Energy
Yes.
Academy, where now his focus is money, business,
Mm-hmm.
finances. Oh, I need to pay off my debt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I need to focus on this. I don't
Yes.
have time for this. So that's how the masculine brain works. This is why I tell you, ladies, don't sleep with them until you guys are married, because their focus is going to change once you sleep with them. Once you sleep with them, you will not become their focus. That's how the
Yes.
masculine brain works. He's
Yes.
conquered you.
Yes.
They're hunters. And this is so subconscious. He's not consciously thinking of this,
Mm-hmm.
but how their brains are wired, they're like, okay, I conquered her. Okay, now I need to go and take care of
Yes.
this. Right. And then you're going to be triggered because you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel abandoned. And then now you, ladies, are stuck feeling emotionally attached to him.
Yeah.
Hormonally, you are now bonded to him,
Yes.
right? So you got to stay rotationally dating. If he's telling you, I got to pay off my debt, I got to do this, I got to do that, okay, babe, see ya.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to hold you back, right? And then
Yes.
you got to keep moving on, babe. If he is meant for you, he will show up, but don't wait around for him.
Yes.
You got to move on with your life. Yeah.
And Jenny, DNA,
Mhm.
Michaela, I'm actually going to jump into the Feminine
Yeah.
Energy Academy and go a little deeper into this
Yeah.
for about 15, 20
Yeah.
minutes after we get off of here. So if
Yeah.
you want to continue that conversation, I'll give you even more
Yeah.
details on
Yeah.
exactly my thought process, what I
Yeah.
was going through, what she was saying to
Yes.
me,
Yes.
because all of that was so key in us
Yes.
being here
Yes.
today. It allowed
Yes.
me to be at a place where I feel comfortable and where we're on the same page. So if you're not in the FEA, jump in the
Yeah.
FEA. It's a free 7-day trial, and I'll go ahead and go a little deeper into it for about 15, 20 minutes after this live.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And then tomorrow, don't miss tomorrow's masterclass because we're skilling up tomorrow, ladies. We are being in our soft girl energy and we're learning how to communicate with the masculine. What really inspired this is we met with almost 40 of you from the
Yes.
Feminine Energy Academy at our recent retreat. And we did something that was so powerful with
Mm.
just a small group of the women where we did an energy and an image reading on them,
Mm.
meaning we watched them walk and talk. We did this individually.
Yes.
We were able to tell so much about the woman, where her energy was at, if she was all up in her head, if she was in her feminine. It was
Yeah.
so powerful. And a lot of these women are very successful. They're beautiful. None of them, like, their looks were like check mark. Yeah, like they were all attractive
Yes.
women. So that was not the issue at all. It was very much their energy. And so I was like, okay, we need to do a masterclass on this where we can really teach the women how to talk to men
Mm.
in that soft energy, how you actually influence men, and even like things like flirting, right? And like in that soft magnetic way that
Yes.
but that's also classy. So this is important in dating and of course in marriage.
Yes.
The master class is top tier,
Yes.
ladies. Thank you. Do
Yes.
not want to miss it. Thank you, Alicia, so much. We appreciate you. And you, of course, ladies, you get all the replays
Yes.
as well when you jump in the FEA. You can binge watch it for free.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me see if we have any other questions, but definitely
Really good
I want to
question.
just dive deeper into it because even in the FEA, I know a lot of ladies
Yeah.
ask about, okay,
Yeah.
what exactly was the process when you all got together, and
Yeah.
where were you? Because a lot of guys end up ghosting you or
Yeah.
ghosting, or a lot of
Yeah.
guys end up pulling back
Yeah.
when it comes to taking that next step,
Yeah.
and everything seemed great, just like
Yeah.
with us. Everything seemed great.
Mhm.
Everything was going well, but
Yeah.
it's something that goes on in the male mind
Yeah.
that I want to share with the ladies.
Oh, so good.
Let me see if we have any others. So many good questions. Hey, Coach B and Tosh, should the conversations around lifestyle and finances be initiated by the man first? And you can answer it,
Ooh,
but that's
that's
something,
good.
and I'm going to go over in the FEA as well
Okay.
right after we get off here. I don't want to go too deep because I want some of the ladies in the FEA who've been asking those
Yeah.
questions to be a part of it as well. But definitely plays a role, and I'll go deep into that.
Yeah, and it's all about how you say things. I know I initially brought it up with you, but then we talked about it again, which is so important. But it's all about how you say things. This is why I'm going to do a whole masterclass on this tomorrow. It's hard to kind of go deep on all of this. I'm like, say this. If he says this,
Yes.
say this. This is
Yes.
how you can bring it up. It's hard to do that on YouTube,
Yes.
but that's why. And I mean, you can jump in the and watch the masterclass for
Yes.
free, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
So definitely, I see we have Christian, Alicia. These
Yes.
are all the ladies that have been in the Feminine Energy Academy
Yes.
for a while, have seen so many results within
Yeah.
their life, and
Yeah.
even and of course we talk about relationships so much. But can you talk
Yeah.
about? And we had a lady that joined recently, probably in the last week or two, who was able to manifest.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay, so I was talking to one of our ladies yesterday. She's a business lady. I'm coaching her in the area of business as well and feminine energy. And I was like, tell me about how you came in to the FEA. She just joined not that long ago. She said in the first 3 weeks of joining, $10,000
Mm.
manifested just from listening to the audios, doing the inner healing, doing the stuff that I teach. Because the big thing that we do in the FEA is we heal your receiving blocks.
Mm.
We heal your receiving blocks. And most women have receiving blocks. And this affects your love life and your finances.
Mm.
This is why you'll also notice I'm thinking of another girl that's in our FEA right now who is about to get engaged.
Yes.
And also she's killing it in business. And I'm
Mm.
like, I haven't told her this, but I noticed, I'm like, oh, isn't this interesting that both of these are going up at the exact same
Mm.
time? It's her
Yes.
energy and it's around you receiving. So not only does this help you in dating and marriage, but it helps you just receiving more finances.
Mm.
So if you are noticing the same pattern, just ask yourself, get curious,
Mm.
no judgment, so much love. Just get curious. Are you noticing similar patterns with your finances as you are with men?
Mm.
Meaning things like you're having to chase after it. You have to chase after money, you have to chase after men.
Yeah.
They come and they go,
Mm.
they don't stay. That's a
Yeah.
big one,
Yes.
right? You don't feel like maybe you can surrender to it. Like it's always going to be there. You feel safe and secure in that soft, surrendered energy because you just know that you have an overflow of finance. And this is all God's will for your life, by the way. Just go meditate on Second Kings 4. That's where I got a lot of this revelation from because, that was a widow woman. That was her consciousness, right? That represents a consciousness when you're, and I had to heal this, that widow consciousness. Even if you're not a widow, it's still a consciousness. Even
Mm.
if you've never been married, you can still have a widow consciousness, right? A peasant girl consciousness, an orphan consciousness. And what that does is it keeps you broke and it keeps you single. Let me say it one more time. I feel like someone needs to hear that. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you've been married, not married, single, whatever. You can be married even.
Mm.
If you have a widow consciousness, a peasant girl consciousness, or an orphan consciousness, that's what keeps you broke
Mm.
and single. But when we heal that and you make God your divine masculine, this is all in scripture, by the way. When you make God your divine masculine, that's why Christ calls us his bride,
Mhm.
because we were never meant to be in that widow consciousness or that orphan girl consciousness. Esther, Queen Esther, right? She went from being an orphan peasant girl to a queen, right? In her soft girl era, right? That's what God wants for you, whoever's listening right now. But
Mm.
you got to heal that consciousness. And what you'll notice will happen in your life, it's happened to me and happens to the women that I coach that are open, is the man comes in the picture, the marriage improves, and the bank accounts go up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just all so related because
Yes.
again, and this is a little connected to it, but like you said, how you do anything is how you do
Yes,
everything.
absolutely.
So if depending on the type of energy you have in the area
Yeah.
of relationship,
Yeah.
you're going to have similar energy in the area of money, in the
Yeah.
area of your health, because even with us, in every area we have similar
Yeah.
energy. So
Yeah.
even in our health, we're just going all out.
Yeah.
We're trying to find the newest thing to help us health wise.
Yeah.
In the area of business, okay, what's the newest thing? What adjustments can we make?
Mhm.
And even in the area of relationship,
Yep.
just keeping things fresh. Okay, what do
Yes.
you need? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better wife? And
Yeah.
you're always doing the work. You're not just getting the information, but you're always doing the work
Yeah.
so you can see better and better results.
Okay, and one more thing I just want to add for the ladies that, this goes along the lines of what we talked about today, where you're ready to date for marriage. If you are wanting to date online internationally, I really, really encourage you to skill up in that area.
Hmm.
And that is one thing that we specialize in. And we're getting our ladies such
Yes.
amazing results. Okay. So if you want help with your dating profile, you want our feedback, message me in the Feminine Energy Academy. You can private message me, and I'm going to send you my training on how to optimize your dating profile. I send you which dating apps to use, and then you can give us your photos and your description, and we can go over it with you. And the
Yes.
women that have made the tweaks
Yes.
have seen such a huge difference with the types of guys
Yes.
that they attract.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
All right.
definitely. So I'm gonna jump into the FEA and answer a few questions around the
Yeah.
topic of exactly where I was in my life when we move forward in the
Yeah.
to the next step. So
Yeah.
jump in. It's a free 7-day trial. Jump in
Yeah.
if you want to continue that conversation with me.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you want to
Well,
add
I
anything?
was just going to say it's really cool. There's a new video feature in our school, in our FEA, so we can go deeper with the ladies
Yes,
in a really
definitely.
private setting, so we can
Yes.
share stuff in there that we're not sharing on YouTube.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, we'll
So
see you ladies soon. Love ya.
yes.